The Democratic presidential candidates will debate for the second time in a week tonight in South Carolina, the last ahead of the state's Saturday primary vote. It's also the final debate before Super Tuesday. And NBC News senior political editor Mark Murray joins us now for a preview. Mark, what can we expect tonight?
I expect some more fireworks. Of course, Las Vegas, the last Democratic debate, was full of those kind of fireworks. But the person who ended up taking the most hits and the most scrutiny was Michael Bloomberg, the former New York City mayor. This time around, I do think a lot of the fire is going to be aimed at the front runner in the Democratic contest, and that's Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, who goes into this race as the clear Democratic front runner and someone, if he keeps that momentum going, and that still is a big if, he could end up being the decisive person and delegate winner on Super Tuesday.
Now, it's also going to be interesting, too, because we kind of got both of the outsiders, if you will, finally jumping into the same debate with Bloomberg and Tom Steyer. What do you think of those two guys sort of getting into this thing? And then also, too, are they starting to split that vote up a little bit to where Bernie Sanders can kind of take advantage of that?
Yeah, there's no doubt that the two billionaires in this contest, Tom Steyer and Michael Bloomberg, have played a role in this contest. Look back at even last week where Bloomberg got so much of the scrutiny in his first debate performance, and the candidates, by and large, kind of gave Bernie Sanders a little bit of a pass, even though he was the front runner. Tom Steyer, a new NBC Marist poll of South Carolina, has him at 15% in that state due to about the $20 million that he's been advertising on the air in the Palmetto state. And that has given him a little bit of a boost. And that could actually be coming at Joe Biden's expense, where Joe Biden needs some of that support that's been going to Tom Steyer to be able to have a decisive victory on Saturday in South Carolina.
I guess, in your opinion, who do you think really needs a win in this thing? You mentioned Biden. Obviously, it would be nice for him to get a win, but it seems too like Elizabeth Warren really doesn't have a lot of momentum going into this thing, or even Pete Buttigieg seems to have lost a little bit of that momentum. What do you think?
Yeah, you need a lot of momentum going into Super Tuesday. And to me, the person who's probably best positioned to get it is Joe Biden, the former vice president. A win in South Carolina, and we're talking in double digits, more than 10 points, could really kind of allow him to flex his muscles after a pretty tough month of February where he had disappointing finishes in Iowa and New Hampshire. So to me, Joe Biden, a win for him would be big news going into Super Tuesday, and that potentially could set up a one-on-one matchup going Super Tuesday and beyond between Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders.
Do you think going into South Carolina and the Super Tuesday here, who, I guess, is the most on life support? Because it seems to me here we're starting to kind of see some of the cream rise to the top.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is that all the candidates whose name isn't Bernie Sanders are kind of on fumes when it comes to money. And so if you don't have the name identification that a Joe Biden does, and you're Pete Buttigieg, you're Elizabeth Warren, you're Amy Klobuchar, you need big bucks to be able to compete, and that money is a dwindling resource. So they're going to have to pull something from their hat to be able to have kind of a lifeline going to Super Tuesday and beyond.
All right, so there you have it. That is a breakdown here of what is to come here tonight in South Carolina. Mark Murray from NBC News there in Washington. Mark, we certainly appreciate the time.
Thank you.